My name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for Veterans Memorial and Multicultural Histories Incorporated. Today is July, what's today's date?
23rd.
July 23rd, 2022. And we're here at Sauls-Bridges, American Legion, Post 13. Okay, and it is Saturday, as I said earlier. July
23rd.
23rd.
Yes.
Okay, so, Miss, what is your name?
Bonnie Ann Francis.
Okay, Bonnie. And Bonnie, what city do you live in?
Quincy, Florida. It's about 20 miles west of here.
Okay. And when is your birthday?
March 28th, 1959.
Okay. Were you drafted or enlisted?
I enlisted.
What branch of the service were you in?
I started out in the United States Army.
Okay. What year was that?
1979.
And so, did you retire from the military?
I retired from the military. Yes, sir.
What branch of the service did you retire
I
from?
ended up retiring from the Air Force.
What year was that?
That was 2019.
Okay. Why did you choose the Army at first?
So initially,
What rank were you when you finally separated?
I was an E5.
Okay. Was it
Yeah, I think.
Staff Sergeant?
Staff Sergeant. I'm sorry. Yes, Staff Sergeant.
Okay. Master is 6.
I think Master is 6.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you at the time you went in the service the first time?
You mean like I was in Florida, stayed at my home?
What were you doing?
So I was in college at Florida A&M University, and my sophomore year, I was 21, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do as far as my career in college, and I always wanted to kind of see the world and get away from a small rural town, Quincy. So I went to talk to some of my people, my cousins and my uncles had all served in the military, and so I had interest in the military, so I joined the Army just to kind of see the world.
Right.
In 1979, that's when my military career started, and as an enlisted soldier. And so from there, subsequently, 1990 we had Desert Storm.
Right.
And so my unit, which is at it's no longer a unit now, I can here in Tallahassee, was a reserve unit.
Okay.
Prior to me getting out, after I did my active duty, obligation. And so, and then I did reserve. So we had to go to Desert Storm in 1990. So we did a year there. And during that time, we would get to go in maybe every 30 days to go wash up and whatnot with the Air Force.
Okay.
And so as we were traveling to this Air Force base, I noticed that they were walking around in shorts and whatnot, and they had air conditioning. During that time, it wasn't a bubble tent, but it was something similar. And so we were living in pup tents and, makeshift baths and all this stuff, So I said, well, their living conditions were a lot better than ours. So subsequently, that drove me to change branches, and I went into the Air Force in 2000.
Okay, so go back. What year did you go in the Army?
1979.
So from 79 to 91?
91, somewhere around that time.
And then you transferred.
Transferred over.
Okay, so let's just talk about your Army.
Okay.
Army career first.
Okay.
All right. Where was basic training?
Oh my God, we called it Fort Lost in the Wood, Missouri, which is Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. That
Fort what?
Fort Leonard Wood.
Leavenworth?
Fort Leonard.
Leonard
Wood, Missouri.
Leonard Wood?
Leonard Wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Missouri. And how long was the tour?
That was basic training. So
okay, so basic training.
Yeah, that was basic training.
And so tell me about basic training. Tell me about your instructors. Tell me about the food. Tell me about what you did.
Now that was an eye opener for me. Coming from the state of Florida, I had never seen snow.
Okay.
And so it was
Culture shock.
It was a culture shock because everything we did was it was snowing. It was out in the snow.
Right.
So you learn to survival skills, shooting skills, digging a trench. It was a learning experience, and I enjoyed meeting a lot of people from all across the United States.
Right.
So we formed a camaraderie, because that's how you survive.
Right.
And so yeah, it was very good training. I mean, I learned to fire different weapons, machine guns.
What weapons?
The M60 back during that time, I think it was a machine gun. The M16.
And the M60 too?
Yeah, the M60. We trained on the M60 as well.
60.
Yeah, M60.
That was a pretty impactful weapon.
It felt. It was exciting. The M60. We threw hand grenades. We learned how to throw, and they were live.
Right.
Live hand grenades.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it was really good.
Did anybody get hurt? Any casualties in basic training?
Not in my platoon. No.
Okay.
No, not to my knowledge.
And you said platoon. How many people were in the platoon at that time?
Oh my God.
Was it 10, 20?
It was probably I think it was like 20. Yeah, about 20.
Okay, men and women?
Men and women, yes.
Was it equal amount of men and women?
No, it was more men than women. During that time.
How many women were there?
It was probably 15.
Including yourself?
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. If you used 20 people, it was 15 women?
Wait a minute, hold on. That's wrong. Let me take that back. It was more than 15 people because I'm thinking about platoon. You got squad, platoon.
Right.
Yeah. It was. So in our, I would say, because I can't remember.
Unit?
In the unit, it was probably about 200 people.
Okay.
And of those 200, I would say maybe 15 were women.
That was it?
That was it. It wasn't a lot of women.
Wasn't even 10%?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had just one barracks for women. That just shows you how small it was.
Right.
Where the men had 2 or 3.
Do you feel like you experienced any discrimination?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
In basic training?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you say that?
You know, there were times where from not from leadership per se, but from like the guys. A lot of misogyny. Because think about 1979.
Right.
Women were just, I guess, going. Women were in the military, but they were starting to come in a lot more.
Right.
And so it's kind of. A lot of men didn't want women in the military.
Okay.
And they made it known, about, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, look at you, that kind of stuff.
So.
But
it's condescending.
Condescending, yes, yes. But we persevered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any physical altercations?
No, nothing like
combined
that.
with the discrimination?
No, it was pretty much verbal.
Okay.
There was no physical. Yeah, pretty much verbal.
So no physical attacks.
No physical attacks. No.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No.
With the drill sergeant, of course, it's like, you're going to do push-ups, you're going to drop, but there was no physical attack.
Okay.
But you did have some discrimination, that was because it was a male-dominated type of, organization.
Right.
And predominantly were mostly Caucasians, and then you had some of the Caucasians didn't necessarily, being black and female. Right. You're gonna get double tagged. But it wasn't obvious, but it was like small attacks.
Okay.
If you will,
It's just undermining.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to remember the word.
It's
undercurrent.
Yeah. It was enough where you knew that it was enough that they knew how far to go.
Okay.
Yeah. But
the men.
Yeah.
Okay. And did it ever get so bad verbally until anybody, yourself or anyone else, turned in a complaint?
Now that was not basic training. Now if you go, we fast forward.
That was later.
Yeah, later.
Okay.
Yes, when we was at Folklife, Louisiana.
So how long was basic training?
Oh God, I think 6-7 weeks.
Okay.
I can't remember.
And then AIT?
AIT was another maybe 2 to 4 weeks.
And what would you do? What was it? What was your training?
Oh yeah, I was at Fort Sam, Houston. That's where all the medics did their training.
Okay.
And I started in the medical field.
Okay.
I started out as because prior to coming in, I was an LPN.
Oh, really?
And then I had, yeah, so, and then, so when I got into
So prior to coming in, how old were you when you went in?
I was 21.
Okay, so you had your LPN, your license?
Well, I'm sorry, that came in later. Let me reverse that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a CNA.
A what?
A certified nurse assistant.
Got
That's
it.
what it was. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I jumped ahead a couple of years.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was a certified nurse assistant.
Right.
And then I left that and went into the military, into the Army.
Okay.
So subsequently, AIT, I got, it was called a 91, started out as a 91 Bravo, MOS 91 Bravo.
Right.
And that was a field medic.
Yeah.
And then so subsequently I got, I was a EMT paramedic.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where my career pretty much was in the Army.
Okay, but, okay, so,
Combat medic.
again, I didn't ask enough. Did you have any college before you went into the service initially?
I had I had an associate degree from, that's right, I did get an associate degree from a community college.
Where?
Tallahassee Community College.
Okay, from here.
Yeah, from Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
And then, was that before I went in or after? No, that was after I got out. I'm sorry, I'm going to give my story.
The CNA?
Yeah, so CNA just a certificate.
Okay.
So I had I didn't have.
How long did you have to go to school for that?
It was, I think that was a 2 or 3 month program, maybe
Okay.
2 months.
At Tallahassee?
Tallahassee
Community?
that was at Lively Votech.
Who?
I think Lively.
Oh, Lively Votech?
Yeah.
Okay, vocational tech, okay.
Yeah.
And so, but you say it was, how long for?
Yeah, it was just a little paper course.
Okay.
It was like maybe it was about a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
CNA. And then so I went in as a CNA, had my CNA certificate. That was a little training. And then I had some credits from FAMU.
Okay.
So I didn't have an AA at that time.
Right.
So I didn't have a degree when I joined the Army.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So so once I finished AIT at Fort Sam,
Right.
I worked and my first base was, my first post, as you will, was in Louisiana, and that was Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
And so when going back to your question about, the discrimination that I faced, that was the first base where it was really apparent.
At Fort Polk?
Fort Polk,
And what state again?
Louisiana.
Louisiana?
Yeah.
Okay, so your AIT was how long?
I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember. Maybe it was 6 weeks because that's right. I think it was about 6 weeks.
Okay, so did you take a break or did you go directly to your first duty base?
No, I went directly to my unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is in Louisiana?
Right.
And how long was that tour?
That was 3 years and then.
Wow.
2 years. No, I was there 2 years and then I went overseas to Germany.
Okay, so let's talk about Fort Polk.
Yeah. Fort Polk is weird.
So it was how long, 2 years?
I think it was about 2 years.
Okay, so what was that like? What was your job?
My job, I was a field medic.
Huh?
So our whole job was we trained as well as supported the infantry.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was our job. So wherever they went, we went. We were in the field, a lot of field duty, a lot of training, and we went to Germany. There was a trip we had gone to Germany to Grafenwehr.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, but a lot of training with the.
You out on maneuvers all the time?
Yeah, maneuvers, jump. What do you call it? The
Jump school?
No, the guys that jump out of the planes, air assault.
Right.
We trained with them. We did coverage with them.
Covers?
Then so we did all their medical coverage.
Okay.
So wherever they went, we had to go. Like if they were jumping somewhere, we would be where the planes would come in.
Right.
Where the troops would jump out the planes.
Mhm.
We were there. The helicopters, wherever the soldiers went, we were part of them.
Got it. You were there for support.
Yeah, there for support.
So casualties.
Yes, we had a lot of injuries.
Really? Like
this
what?
was real time.
Yeah.
People break ankles, break foot, break. We had a lot of orthopedic injuries.
From them jumping out of the plane, hitting the ground, and then they would have damage to their lower.
Then you got people running in. You got the guys in the tanks, and stuff, shooting the tanks and stuff. And there were some times where people on the ground, and you know, people would either get, you had like snake bites, you know, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of, you know, you get this, you do safety, you know, instructions, but things happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. Any fatalities?
Yeah, we had a couple.
Really?
There was, but I didn't. One of them I didn't go to. We had another one of our units go to because they were closer to. Was out in the field.
Right.
Yeah. Now there was this thing. There was a. I remember this thing, but this really kind of upset me, but because I never had experienced this. But we had a civilian, a wife of a soldier,
Right.
That beat his wife to death. So
you had one of your
we had to go.
infantrymen
Yeah.
beat
His wife to death.
Really?
And so we had to go and recover the body and then take it to the CID, you know, the morgue.
were you responsible for the investigation?
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, we was transporting the body and stuff. So that was interesting and eye opening because I had never seen a dead body.
Right.
You know, especially one like that was beaten. So learned a lot. You know, about forensic just a little bit because they, you know, the guy, the officer that was doing, you know, the forensic, he was kind of explaining some of the stuff that he did to us. So it was a learning experience, but it was a sad experience too.
Gotcha.
You know, to see that, to know that
teaching, learning experience moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that part of Louisiana, and there was another part of we had one of our first sergeant. He was actually part of the Klan.
How do you know?
Because he showed us his card.
He showed you credentials, huh?
During that time, you know, you're in Louisiana, and so it was obvious the way a lot of the black soldiers were being treated, especially females versus the white soldiers, promotions and whatnot. It had gotten to the point where, you know, you would have like off base the Ku Klux Klan would be holding their rallies. You know, it was just one time me and one of my good.
What city was this near?
This was Folklife was right outside of Alexandria, Louisiana.
Okay.
Baton Rouge.
Okay.
That area. It's not. It's outside of the big city, New Orleans, but it was closer. You know how they put the army bases and stuff. And so me and one of my buddies, she was a white female, and we were going into town for something, and it was during the night, and we were coming back, so we got pulled over. And it was apparently they were two white officers, and
male or female?
They were both male. And so we didn't have to get during that time. We didn't have to get a car. They had the flashlights and what y'all doing here, and what are you doing with this white woman? And I'm like, we're in the military. We're trying to get back to base, and then I was kind of shaking. What's wrong with you? I said, well, I'm a little bit afraid because you got the Ku Klux Klan out here, right? And they just started laughing, But I was being honest. I was young, 21. I'm like, oh man, you hear about that kind of stuff being raised in the South. So needless to say, we didn't get a ticket or anything, but they just told us, you need to. I can't remember exactly. We didn't do anything.
Right.
They just pulled us over.
Yeah.
And so. Well, y'all need to get on back. How they talk. Get on back down the post, and don't be driving in these parts at night. I'm like, and so we both looking at each other like, cause she was from upstate. I'm like, wow, this is the South. So after that, we never traveled during the dark.
No more night runs, huh?
Not in that area. So that was my first encounter physically. I mean, with
racism.
Yeah, in that area. But I mean, in Gaston County, all here.
And where?
In my hometown, still the Ku Klux Klan, when that town was black, white, that kind of thing.
What was your hometown again?
Quincy, Florida.
That's right.
Yeah,
where's Quincy? What's it near?
Right, it's 20 miles west of Tallahassee.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's not too far from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so any other moments
the last
during
moment,
that? Go ahead.
I can say Fort Polk was an eye opener for me. It was a learning experience on you know, racism, misogyny, all of it. And so the last, before I got out of there, it had gotten so bad until we had a group of us, included white people, like Caucasians, black people.
Yeah.
During that time, we all had got together and said we're gonna have to do something about this. So we wrote this type. We had a friend to type up this letter.
Right.
And we actually all put our funds together and sent one of our people in the military, in the Army, to go to the Pentagon to complain.
Wow.
Yeah, we had, because it was bad. It was bad there, and the things that were going on. And so subsequently, a lot of people got fired. You know, got relieved. I would say got relieved, and they moved them on to a different base.
Right.
Because there was so many problems there. And then of course, I said I wanted to get out, so I wanted to go to Germany. So subsequently, I PCS to the great old, everybody knows this base, they call it the Rock, in Germany. Oh my God.
Which one?
What is, can't think of the name of it.
Kaiserslautern.
Not Kaiserslautern, what was it called?
Ramstein.
Not Ramstein. It was actually it was in the mountains. It was close to,
Han.
Huh?
Han.
Now, why is this escaping me now?
Because it happens.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
Wait a minute. What was that
Take
base?
your time. It'll come back.
Not Grafenfield, because we did Grafenfield there. Where was the base? Oh my God. See, this is what happens when you get old. It's set in the back of the brain.
Don't remind me.
Oh my God.
Bremerhaven?
Bremerhaven.
Yeah. Ha! Okay.
How can I not forget Bremerhaven?
I don't know.
Bremerhaven,
Okay.
yeah. But you know, I had a good time there because I was always active. I swam, did a lot, and played basketball. I played all sports.
Okay.
And so I was actually on the basketball.
How long were you there?
We were there for 2 years.
What do you mean?
I was there for 2 years.
Okay. All right. And what year was that?
Oh God.
Can you remember?
80.
So you still in the Army, right?
79. Yeah, I'm still in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah, 79. I think it was 80. Maybe it was 81.
No, because you spent a couple of years. You went in '79, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't at Fort Polk for very long.
Okay.
I was there for I think a year and a half. During that time, yeah, you didn't really stay. Yeah, I think I left there. I stayed there a year.
Okay.
And I think it was because of all the stuff that was going on.
I hear you.
Then I got orders to go to bomb holder.
Okay.
Bomb holder. That's it.
Bomb holder.
Bomb holder.
Okay.
Germany.
So how do you feel about going overseas?
Oh, I was looking forward to that because I wanted to travel. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good adventure. You know, went a lot of places.
What was your job there?
I was a medic.
Okay.
Still a field medic.
All right.
With EMT, paramedic. We did kind of both.
EMT?
This
Casualties? Any casualties?
No, it was nobody. We had people dying, but it
From
was,
what?
From accidents. People going out drinking drunk. You know, accidents coming out of planes and stuff. We had some deaths.
What do you mean coming out of planes? You mean on
Jumping.
maneuvers?
Yeah, on
Jumping,
maneuvers
yeah.
and stuff,
Okay,
jumping.
paratroopers.
Paratroopers, yeah. And
Men and women?
no, just men.
Just men.
Men. Yeah, doing that with just men.
Right. Okay.
The paratroopers, yeah, just
All right.
men. So that was again another exciting trip because again here I'm back in the snow, in the cold,
Right.
and stuff. Lot of training. Every year they would have this big training. I think they still have it. It's called everybody goes to Grafenwehr, and that was a big training exercise and stuff. So that was good training for me. You learn survival skills. You know how to take care of people in the wilderness for whatever you had available.
Right.
Let's see. So that was Germany. Yeah. So I was there in Germany because when I left Germany. I actually, when I was done at Germany, I was there for 2 years, and then when I got back in '83, I actually PCS from Germany.
Okay.
I got out of the military from Germany. That was my last base.
So what year was that?
That was 1983.
Okay, so you were only in the Army for 4 years?
I did another. No, I was there for 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did. I came back. 4 years active duty. Then I went back active duty during Desert Storm. So that was like 5 years.
How long were you in Desert Storm?
A year.
Okay, and where'd you go?
To the desert.
Okay, where?
Oh, it was, we were somewhere, I don't know exactly where, but it was somewhere outside of Kuwait. But we were somewhere, I don't know where exactly.
Okay,
but,
so were you in combat?
Oh yeah, it was Operation Desert Storm.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
So what was your experience there? How long were you there for, a year?
Yes. And that was the time when I was telling you about the Air Force thing. So we were there for a year. It was, you know, everything in the Army you set up. We brought everything, you know.
Right.
Our tents, deuce and a halves.
What's a deuce and a half?
That's like a 18. It's like a it's an Army like it's kind of like a
vehicle.
It's like a think about a Mack truck.
Right.
But it's kind of similar to that. And then it had an open in the back. You could have about, I think, 16 troops. You know.
Okay.
So deuce and a halves were kind of like a workhorse type of vehicle.
Okay. It's a large truck.
It's a large truck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You only transported soldiers.
Well, it was multi-purpose.
Anything. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. You could break it down multi-purpose.
So were there a lot of casualties?
During the war, yeah. But see, at that point, I wasn't. I was attached to a POW camp.
Oh.
And so we took care of the prisoners of war.
So those were the
whatever prisoners.
What ethnic group was it? Oh, was it different ethnic groups?
They were the whoever the Muslim is. I mean, I don't know if they were. I don't know what you call them. It was whoever whatever group that was taking.
Kuwaitis?
They could have been Kuwaitis.
Okay.
It could have been a mixture.
All right.
But I know that they were part of the insurgents or whoever were trying to take Kuwait over.
Right.
And so those are the prisoners that we had.
Okay. Okay. I'm not fully I'm not adverse, so to speak.
Okay. Okay.
So when I'm trying to, it wasn't that.
Let me circle back. So what our whole mission was to set up a POW camp. We were a small medical group medical attachment to that particular unit.
Okay.
So we went with them, and so our job was to give medical care to our troops as well as the prisoners. So the prisoners of war, I'm assuming they were. I know they were. I don't know if they were Iraqis. They couldn't have been, but they were Afghanis. But I know they were part of the insurgents that were trying to take Kuwait back, take over Kuwait. So pretty much, I guess Saddam Hussein, whoever, that group of people.
Right.
The people on the other side.
I can't remember they're Iraqi.
See, I can't either. I can't remember.
All right.
Let me see. You looking up?
Both of us, yeah. Real quick.
Yeah, real quick. I think they were. Let's see.
Here we go. Let's see what it says. Iraqi politician who served as the 5th president of Iraq from 16 July 79 until 9 April 2003.
So they were Iraqis.
So Iraqis. Okay, fine.
That's okay.
All right.
I know it was, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about combat and casualties.
Okay, so
what kind of volume?
So our job.
Were you dealing with on a daily basis?
So pretty much it was, oh my God, it was a lot. It was so many POWs. It was, and then during that time, a lot of those Iraqi people were giving themselves in because they were hungry. They had surrendered, and it was so many people. I'd never seen so many men, that were just didn't have anything, and so part of what we did as a medical unit, we would go out and police call the dead bodies of the Iraqi people, and body bags, put them in body bags and stuff, because that was part of the mission. So it was a lot of deaths, a lot of burn victims. Yeah, a lot of burn victims. That's because from the bombings.
Right.
So that was something.
That was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad. But yeah. So
what about kids?
Kids too.
Children
too.
And women.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But they were dead.
They were dead.
They were dead. They were dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who was? I'm just curious. Who was burying? Who was in charge of the burial details?
Well, that part I don't know. We were out there. Our part was to bag them up.
Okay.
You know, we were just helping
So
bag.
you were bagging up the dead.
Bagging up the dead.
Caring for the living.
Yeah.
Wounded.
Right.
Okay.
And then they would, put them on trial. I had no idea. I don't know if they burned the bodies. We have no idea.
How did you deal with the stress?
Well, you knew it was.
Before I ask you that, again, what kind of volume do you believe you saw over that period of a year?
Oh God.
And then I want to know how you dealt with the stress.
It was like thousands.
Really?
Because it was
Really?
when I tell you, I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Okay.
To see how desperate people were after, it's like they had lost, so they gave up.
Right.
And so they were, we had our outposts, and then you had the POW camps,
Right.
that we were our unit was managing, and so you built them. We had we had everything. Our unit had everything. So you were building everything from the ground. You see, with some support coming in
Right.
from other army bases. But it was the camps were it was something to see. And then we were close to the oil burners too, so we were the smoke from the oil well.
Right.
It was like.
So you dealing with issues in the environment simultaneously.
Environment, let me tell you, it was a trip.
Was there any military advancement upon your post? I mean, was where you were stationed,
Okay.
and where you were doing your job as a medical,
Yeah.
medical personnel,
Right.
were there any bombings right there where you were?
No.
Any attacks?
No attacks.
No attacks.
No attacks there. No.
How far away were you from the action?
I'm not certain. Because we were at a place, an undisclosed place.
Okay.
And so we knew where we needed to go.
Right.
But we just didn't, there was.
Were you within earshot of conflicts and engagements?
No, we weren't.
So you didn't hear?
No, we were out because our mission was a POW camp.
Got it.
So we were far away from the battlefield.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we weren't
So how were casualties
transported.
by plane, truck, what?
Trucks.
Okay.
Some came in. Yeah, trucks.
Not air. They weren't airlifting it.
Not to my knowledge. Now,
Okay.
there may have been some because by the time they got to our location, it was a gate and everything. We had, you couldn't come in, so they were driving these people in.
So there wasn't like an airstrip on your base.
Right. No.
Was there an airstrip on your base?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but
They didn't bring them in by helicopter?
no.
No, just by ground
Ground
transportation.
transport. And then we had we had to go. Well, we didn't have ambulance during that time. That was when the Humvees. So we would have a Humvee to go to like I was telling about the burn patients.
Yeah.
We actually went to this place, and I don't know where the hell it was, but it was probably about maybe 40, 50 miles out.
Right.
Where we would go and help out with that, with the police calling of the burned bodies and bagging them and that kind of stuff. So we had missions, daily missions where maybe this group of medics would go to this location,
Right.
this group. So we had different missions.
How long were your work days?
Oh God, they went on, all day. I mean, you work all day. There was no.
Is that 8, 12, 16 hours?
Oh yeah, 20 man. It's like
24 hours?
24 hours. You go in and take a nap, and it's time to get up again.
Right.
It's a mission. Let's go.
Did you ever get any R&R while you were there?
No, there was no R&R.
That whole year, no break.
We didn't get no R&R till it was time to come home.
Every day, Sundays.
That's right, every day. Ain't no
So
R&R.
tell me about the stress and the trauma that you and your fellow military personnel, fellow soldiers, experienced. How'd you deal with it? What was it like? What was that?
Yeah, it was. We communicated, just talked. We all talked. Just talked about the things that we were experiencing and the politics of, what was going on. And it was. I could tell you this. The way I got through it, and I think most of my buddies got through it, was we talked about it. You couldn't just hold it in. We had to talk. communicate. We had to talk. And being a medic, and then come, and just for my upbringing, you got to talk about what's on your mind. You can't just keep that in. Mm-hmm. So I used to talk to people, and that's it. You just got to talk about it. People have issues, family issues, wife, husband, children, that kind of thing.
All that was going on.
All that was going on at the same time because it was a lot. It was a lot, but talking to each other, giving each other strength. You can do this. We can get through this. It's really what got me through it.
Right.
Just talking, because I'm not one to hold nothing in.
I got you.
And so I encourage that from other soldiers.
Okay. Out of your own unit, the people that work with you, that you live with day in and day out.
Yeah.
Were any of them ever casualties?
Not in the Army, no.
No. Okay. That whole year that you were there were no casualties in your immediate unit.
No, that's correct.
So but people from other military personnel from other units would come, as well as the civilian population.
Yes.
As well as the opposition.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So that was Desert Storm.
Okay. So anything else interesting that stands out in your mind from that
was the only other thing. Like I said, the only other thing is that no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty. Yeah, that's the gist of the Army piece.
Okay, so where was your next duty station?
My next duty station, once I got out,
and while you were there in the Middle East, did you? And when you were done with the tour, did you get to visit or travel any other parts of the country? I mean, that area, part of the world, Europe, anything?
No, I had traveled Europe during my active duty in Army days. Remember I told you in Baumholder, so we got to travel there. Right. But
so where'd you go while you were in Baumholder?
Oh, I went everywhere.
Where?
I went to Paris. I went to Switzerland. I went to oh my God! I went so many places in Europe.
Where?
I went to England.
London?
I went to because being in Germany, you could catch the train.
Right.
So went to Amsterdam.
London.
Oh my God. So I said Paris, London, Amsterdam.
Did you get to Spain?
Yes, I went to Spain.
Where?
I went to Ibiza. Ibiza.
Okay.
Little island.
How was that?
It was nice. It was because I like the water.
Right.
So it was. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Italy? What about Italy?
No, I didn't get. I didn't get to go to
Italy.
No, I didn't go to Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
France?
Went
to Paris, right?
Yeah, went to France. Yeah.
And so, where else did you go in Germany besides where you were stationed?
Just went all over.
Frankfurt.
I went to Frankfurt. I toured. I went to damn near every place in Germany. Because Germany was because I like the outdoors, so they had a lot of biking places, mountain. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
So we just all over Germany.
How was the food?
Food was good.
How was the food in the military, in the Army?
It was good.
It was good?
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. Yeah.
So I'm sure they fed you pretty good while you were in Iraq.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had good. Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so that was it for after that.
After
you
that,
separated from the Army.
Yeah, and
what? Why? Why did you?
So going back to that scene in Desert Storm,
right?
We would go in and shower, clean up. We had our stuff too, but then to take a really nice shower, we were going with the Air Force,
right? Every
so often. And the first time we went there, I was like, I thought I was seeing a mirage because I'm seeing these people walking around in shorts, and then once we got on base, inside the compound, they had air conditioning units. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to look into the Air Force because it was just a whole different way of life. And that was the kind of life for me. Okay. So that way, and I enjoyed the military. So once I came back from Desert Storm, I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna get my degree. I got my degree in nursing, BSN in nursing, and that was back in 1999. So 2000, I decided I was gonna join the Air Force. In 2000. Yeah. So you were in the Army from 79 to 2000. Correct. To 79. Okay. Yeah, my orders, I think. Yeah, 1979 until 2000. Yes. Till 2000. 2001. I think it was. So that was 21 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did 40 years total. Total time service.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Over the 20-year period, tell me all the places that you were stationed in the Army.
So I did. So that was active duty. But see, the remainder of my time was Air Force Reserve.
Cool.
So I was active reserve.
Where? Where were you?
In Tallahassee.
Okay.
Here in Tallahassee.
And so you did your two weeks a year and 1 weekend a month.
Correct.
Where did you go for the 1 weekend a month?
Here in Tallahassee.
Where?
At Osley Road.
Osley?
Osley Road. It was an MP. I forget the name of the unit, but it was the three. They lost their flag, so not lost it, but you know. What year was it? Oh my God.
They lost their flag?
Meaning, you know how a unit will move? What's the term they use when a unit no longer exists? They change the unit. They move the unit down south.
Okay.
And that was during the time they was doing a lot of configuring of the downside units. Reconfiguring.
Yeah.
And it was an MP unit, but I can't think of the number.
Right.
It escapes me. My memory is shot to hell. But it was a military police outfit.
I don't know why you're saying that. You're doing really good. Go ahead. I'm serious. Go ahead.
On Osley Road. What is the name of that?
That's a lot of information.
I think it was the 400 MP.
Okay.
I think it was the 400.
All right. Okay. So
anyway,
what was your job in the reserve?
Field medic.
Field medic.
Still, I was medic.
So over that. Okay, so you said you did 4 years active duty?
Correct.
And did 16 years in the reserve?
Right.
Okay, so
something like that. But then I did 4 years. That's right.
Okay, where did you travel for your 2 weeks a year? Did you travel?
Yeah, we would go. Oh, we did different places.
Where'd you go?
It was different bases here in the United States.
Like?
It was. I think at one point we would go. I know we went to Camp Lejeune at one point. We did some training.
What
there.
state is that in?
That's I think where's Camp Lejeune? That's in is that in Missouri? Not Missouri. Camp Lejeune is in because they did something. They was having some.
Camp Lejeune's in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Because I know they was having some water issues. I had got some.
So you've been to Fort Bragg, right?
Oh yeah, Fort Bragg.
Okay.
Fort Stewart, Georgia. Fort Bragg, Fort Stewart. I think it's Fort Jackson. Was it Fort Jackson?
What state's that in?
Where is not Fort Jackson. It's in Georgia.
Okay.
Oh man.
So it was all stateside over the 16
stateside.
years?
Yeah, it was stateside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So and you were a medic those 16 years, correct?
Now during that time I had got my LPN license, so I was working. I had it was around I think it was like the early 90s. I got my LPN license.
Okay.
And I was working. Still was a medic, but with a little bit more advanced knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how many degrees do you have?
So
now?
my last degree I have a master's in public health nursing.
Nice. And your bachelor's?
Bachelor's in nursing.
And you said you had an associate's in something.
Yeah, that was just a general associate of arts degree.
Okay.
You know when you're trying to figure out what you want to do.
What was it, associate in science?
Yeah.
Got it.
To get to college.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where did you get your bachelor's from?
I went to St. John Fisher in Rochester, New York.
You went there physically or did it online?
No, I was there physically. No.
Okay. And your master's degree, where'd you get that?
I got that from Trident International. That was online.
From who?
Trident International.
Okay,
University.
online?
Online.
Okay. All right. Okay, so just the last couple of questions. We're ready to move on to the Air Force, and we're going to have to close out.
Okay, I got you.
So over that 16-year period, did you have the experience of losing people, casualties?
Not with the Army.
Okay, cool.
But with the Air Force is a different story because all
right. Well, all right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, you separated from the Army in 2000.
Right.
How long was it before you joined the Air? How old were you at the time? And
oh God, I can't remember. I was thinking it was 35.
Okay. So you're still a young woman.
Still kind of, yeah.
So after 20 years, why did you decide to go back into service when you were already done?
Yeah, because I wanted to I like the military, and so just doing some research about the Air Force
Right.
and flight nursing, flying and stuff. That excited me. So
Okay.
those are the things. I wanted, actually, going back to the Army, I had this short little story real quick. I had actually done a physical to be a paratrooper in the Army.
Right.
I had gotten to Fort Stewart,
Uh-huh.
the training, then I kind of got scared and I chickened out. So, yeah. But anyway, so fast forward,
Okay.
that's something I always wanted to do. I love the planes and stuff, and I wanted to jump out of a plane, but I chickened out. So I went to the Air Force because I wanted to still serve the country,
Right.
and I enjoyed the lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
And so I went into the Air Force in 2001 is when I got my commission.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you became an officer,
Yes, sir.
lieutenant,
Lieutenant.
first lieutenant.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so what rank were you when you separated from the Air
I
Force?
was a major.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew either I wasn't on the phone when we had spoken.
Right.
I couldn't tell whether you were Chief Master Sergeant or if you had become an officer.
Yeah. At
Got
that time. So then, so subsequently, my first base in the Air Force was at Keesler.
Keesler.
I was in Mississippi.
Right. How long were you there?
I was there for 2-3 years.
And what was your job?
I was a nurse, a floor nurse, med surg nurse.
Okay.
And during that time, I was the charge nurse on the floor.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then after that, I left there and went to PCS to London, England, to Lakenheath.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
how long were you there?
I was there for 2 years because my mom got sick, and then I had to come back home because she
Okay.
was down with cancer. So I was there, and then after that, I left there. I came back to Eglin, and that was at Fort Walton, Eglin Air Force Base.
That's in Florida.
Yes.
Right.
And then from there, I went to
And you're a nurse all the way through?
all the way through.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
go ahead. Where'd you go after that?
And then from there, I went to Fort Polk. Not Fort Polk. I went to Fort Bragg, and we had I went to flight school. So that's when my flying career started at Polk Air Force Base.
Uh-huh.
That was back in 2010.
Got it.
Okay. But back up. So my deployment history started back in 2003.
Right.
Where we went to, oh Lord, I need to look. But anyway, so I'm gonna kind of summarize this.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much, I deployed several times to Afghanistan.
While you were in the Army? I mean the Air Force?
Air Force.
Uh-huh.
Qatar, Iraq, Afghanistan. I was there, and I'm gonna tell you, you talking about that was some of the worst things that I've ever seen.
Really?
We were not. This was a lot different from the Army. We were actually in the battlefield.
Oh, really?
Okay, we were in the battlefield, getting bombed. A lot of. I mean, it was god awful. It was god awful. And my job there as a nurse, I worked in the OR. See, when in nursing in the Air Force, especially in the battlefield, you know, we had a small, like, it was like an ER. The people would come fresh off the battlefield.
Right.
Brains, legs hanging off. It was just awful. It was god awful.
Uh-huh.
A lot of young people, you know, it was just awful. So I worked we worked in the, it was like working in the ER, and then we floated from the ER. Once you stopped the bleeding, got them stable, we took them to the OR. So you took that head off, you go to the OR, you work with the surgeon. Now we trying to save limbs and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So that was pretty much my whole career in the Air Force. If you think going down range and doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Very traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And
traumatic.
how'd you deal with it?
Talking again, communicating.
Uh-huh.
But you know that's all you
I
can
take
do.
it throughout both of those careers, you got along relatively well with enlisted and officers.
Yeah, oh yeah, because I started as enlisted. So you know, you come from that background. A lot of people don't go to enlisted; they start off, you know, as officers. I thought I had, you know, it was just for me. I thought I had a little bit better understanding, if you will, of people coming from various backgrounds.
By the time you got to the Air Force?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes,
I would imagine.
absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you, okay. So tell me just from your Air Force career to your most memorable experiences, and then we'll move on.
You mean like I guess you know the good and the bad.
The good and the bad.
I would say one of the worst. One of my worst days in the Air Force was we had a soldier that was killed on the battlefield.
And so a lot of times I was over infection control, so
we would have to take
we had body parts or whatever. Sometimes they would need them for investigation.
And I never forget
this one time there was an investigation about the soldier that got his blown off. We had the leg. We had like a little thing outside where you put waste.
So I had to go
in there and actually open up this container and get this guy's leg, which had
dog
his
tags
dog tags and everything around it for whatever reason. And it was decomposing. And then you had all kinds of trauma going in there.
Because I
remember that guy and the trauma of going back
to get his leg.
It was awful. It was
Right.
awful. I had never seen
a
body that's decomposed.
Right.
So that was
I would never forget that. I can see that leg right now. It was just
and there were
all other things.
But that was devastating.
Tell me one more.
There was a time we were getting blown all the time. There was this one point when we had an IUD coming to the camp.
Wherever you
are,
you
get the alarm. By that time it hit the ground. And there was a young lady that was injured. So I rendered assistance to her. She was one of ours.
Right.
She made it. And I made it. Because
it was awful.
Right.
So that was when two
things where
oh no, this is the last one. I remember this. She survived.
But this
I never forget. This is the last one. It was Easter Eve.
And we were having
a command brief every morning.
Right.
At this
particular time, I worked night shift,
and so
I was getting ready to go to the break. Everybody was out of our building, sleep quarters. And all of a sudden I hear this. And just like this stuff up here, there was this bullet came down. It didn't explode. But I saw what do you call the stuff that it came down. What the hell was that? And so it was I forget that. It was about that long. I forget the caliber.
Okay.
But it didn't explode. And it came down where I was sleeping. I was getting ready. And I was holding. I was like, oh my god! I had all my battle gear on.
And so subsequently I told the commander, and they had, the MPs, not the MPs, but security forces came down and did an investigation and stuff. So what it was is somebody had fired because we were getting bombed every day. And so at that point I said, oh my God, if I ever get out of Iraq, I don't ever want to come here again. Because there were many times they used to call me Boom Boom. Because everywhere I went, bombs would fall. No shit.
So you can only imagine. So that was it for me. I was done.
Enough was enough.
I understand.
So last part with this piece. So apparently you never got it physically by the grace of God.
By the grace of God.
What about the people that you work with in your unit?
Like the lady I was telling you about.
That was somebody that you knew. That was the only one.
That was the only one.
Okay.
Everybody else, we were contained. But nobody got bombed.
You said you did three tours in the Middle East. How many?
I did about 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it was.
they were all a year apiece, approximately.
No, these were 6 months. At that point, we were. You go down 6 months, you come back, and then they give time.
So it's like a revolving door. Do the 6 months, come back home for, and then go back to 7 months like that.
Okay. Or if somebody got injured or something, you would have to go and replace. That happened to me a couple times.
Okay. Medals and citations.
Oh yeah,
from both branches. What do you have?
The Army. I can't remember. Army Commendation Medal. I got the Air Force Commendation Medal.
Didn't you get combat medal?
Yeah, combat medal from Desert Storm. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is all.
Okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Let me. Give me that. Give me that. Well, here,
You got
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Assignments.
Assignments.
Oh, God, Lord.
Air Force
Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Meritorious Unit Award, Air Force Outstanding Unit Award, National Defense Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Nuclear Deterrence Operations Service Medal, Air Force Overseas Ribbon, Air Force Expeditionary Service Ribbon, with Gold Border, Air Force Expeditionary Service Ribbon, Air Force Longevity Service, Air Force Training Ribbon, NATO Medal, 48th Medical Operations Squadron Company, Grade Officer of the Quarter, nice, 325th Aerospace Medicine Squadron Field, Grade Officer of the Quarter. Aerospace?
Yeah. I was 7 intelligence flight nurse.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Flight commander.
So, let's see if we can wrap this up. So you were never a prisoner of war?
No.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Right.
Came close.
Okay.
Okay.
Were you ever any part of any battle planning?
Yes.
You were?
I was in Afghanistan. I was at Kabul.
Okay.
I worked, and that was an experience. I worked. I wasn't a medic during that time. I worked like it was like the headquarters for planning.
Okay. When you were a major. How many people did you have up underneath? How many people were you in charge of?
Oh, it depends on where.
What's the largest amount? From the lowest to the highest number.
Oh man. Probably. Let's see. 20. Because it was pretty much hospital and then units. 20, I think. 20 to 30, I think. And then the lowest probably would have been my last basic clinic I had. Pretty much civilian.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So where were you when you separated?
I was at Tyndall Air Force. Panama City.
That's it. Okay.
Panama City.
Got it. And you did use your GI Bill for school, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Have you continued any relationships that you made in the military?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, one of my friends just got promoted to lieutenant colonel. She's a nurse. I just down near 2 weeks at Montgomery. Maxwell Air Force.
In Alabama. Nice.
So I still keep contact with my colleagues.
Okay. So after you retired the second time,
yes.
Did you work again? You just retired.
I'm doing what I want.
When did you retire?
2019.
2019. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. And so last couple of questions. Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Oh, absolutely.
How?
It just showed me how. I tell you, what it did for me is once I retired, it's like think about how can we sit down on all sides. I'm talking all enemies, foreign, domestic. We've been in war since the beginning of time. Why is it that we can't right now as human beings sit down and talk about our dislikes or whatever? It's just we're to the point now we about to annihilate the whole planet. And for what? So that's what it showed me. It's like, what is the point of dying, all this death and dying?
Right.
People are tired of it. Some are, but it taught me the humility, the human side.
Right.
Because a lot of people, even the enemies, if we could just sit down and talk, we can't even do that. So what it taught me was you never give up. You always try to kind of calm the waters, if you will.
Okay. All right. As a female and a person of color, did you have any negative discrimination instances in the Air Force?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It never
all
ends.
the way through?
It never ends. It never ends. You have mild aggressions. You have it's being a woman. Still you have that. You still have a segment of the population in the military that don't want women in the military.
Okay.
So you're gonna have that. Yeah.
So the same as I asked you about the Army, were there any that you knew of or that you suffered your own self personally? Any physical
No physical.
conflicts
No.
that you were aware of that other women had gone through?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That other women had gone through, but
Right.
not you?
Not me, yeah.
Okay. How did they fare?
You know, I gave them as much assistance and counseling as I could. You know, because there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things.
Right.
In the military. So my thing, I did a lot of counseling with a lot of young female people that were having problems with, let's say, the chain of command.
Right.
And it came down to discrimination. You know, there were laws in the Air Force.
Right.
You know, and that so you know, you calm people down because you didn't want people to lose their careers.
Right.
You know.
Right. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, but I just want to thank you, Carlton, for what you do for us and what you continue to do. This is a spectacular program for us vets. It lets us get to tell our stories. So I thank you and your organization.
It's been a very, very rewarding experience also. I'm as grateful to do the project as so many people have told me that they appreciate it.
Yes, it is.
I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for a fabulous interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.